Hello everybody, I'm GHG and welcome back to this tutorial series, and in today's episode we are going to make a gravity orb. As you can see, I've created a new plugin called Gravity Orb with an event handler, and the event handler is a player interact event. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the same technique we used in the wormhole videos, so in the converter videos with the armor stand. So first I'm going to check if getAction.equals action.rightclick block so that I know when to spawn in a gravity orb. Of course you can do many other things. This is just the way I want to do it because it's easy for the video. Okay, so we're going to create an armor stand, and the armor stand is going to be called Grav Orb, short for Gravity Orb, and of course armor stand e.getPlayer, .getWorld, .spawn entity, and then e.getClickedBlock, .getLocation, and then we are going to add to that a half, and then another half, and another half, so that we have the middle of the block. And what we are going to spawn is entity type .armor stand. Okay, so and of course you need to import everything and need to type everything right, because what did I forget? I forgot the, yeah, that's it. So Grav Orb, what we are going to do with Grav Orb, we are going to make it invisible. So set visible false, and we are also going to do Grav Orb set AI false, and funny or not, we are going to do Grav Orb set gravity false as well. And just so that you can still be able to see the custom entity, I'm going to do Grav Orb set custom name towards Grav Orb, and I'm also going to Grav Orb set custom name visible towards true. Okay, that's everything we need to do with the armor stand. And what we are going to do with the armor stand is we are going to for an extended period of time make it like a gravity field, like the player or any entity around it is going to be pulled into the middle of the gravity field. And to do that we need to have a new Bukkit runnable, because we want to run this runnable every second or every tick, so that means 20 times per second. And Bukkit runnable also needs a run method, and what we are going to do with this one is we are going to run task timer. Plugin is going to be this, delay is just going to be 0, and the period is going to be 1. So inside of the run method, what we want to do is first we want to be able to keep track of how many times it ran, and over here I'm going to create a new int called count. You should do it somewhere else, because this is not within the right scope of the event handler, but it's just for simplicity's sake, and you can do something yourself. And over here we are going to reset it to 0, and inside of the run method we are of course going to increase run by 1, so count plus plus. Okay, what we want to do is we want to check if count, and let's say we're going to do 5 seconds, so that makes 20 ticks a second times 5, 100. Now what we are going to do is we are going to remove the Grav Orb, and we are going to cancel this dot cancel. And also if count is below 100, then we are going to check all the entities in the neighborhood of the Grav Orb. So entity end inside of orb.getNearby entities, and then just do a radius over here. 555 blocks is going to be fine. And now we are going to be doing a little math, because what we want to do with the velocity of the entity, because I do not want to get it pulled immediately into the middle of the gravity. I want it to be able to also kind of escape or influence its position within the field. So we are going to set the velocity to end.getVelocity, and we are going to clone it, because you want to make sure you're using the numbers and not the actual velocity, because if you're going to mess with the actual velocity, this whole thing is going to go wrong. So what we are going to do is we are going to add the difference in the locations of our 2 points. So our gravity orb and our entity, which in this case is our player or any items they drop. So what we are going to get is graph orb.get location, and we want to do it to a vector. And as I said, make sure you clone it, because if you are going to mess with it, then you do not want the actual location of the gravity orb to be changed. So graph orb.location.to vector, and what we are going to do over here, so to vector, we're going to subtract or end.get location.to vector, and also make sure to clone it. I forget it, to clone the vector. No need for those brackets. Clone, wait, let me just redo it. So clone dot to vector, and now we actually add it in one tick. So we do not want it to happen in one tick, we want it to happen in a little slower. So we're going to graph orb.location.subtract this, and we are going to multiply the whole vector over here with a small number, so multiply it by 0.005 works fine, and then the player should get sucked into the middle of the graph orb. And that's actually all there is for the coding this tutorial. Let's go and check this out on the server. See you over there. So we're inside Minecraft now. I've started up the server, and let's go take a look at what we have created. And as you can see, if I right click on a block on the ground, then there's going to be a custom armor stand over here with graph orb. And I did not touch my keyboard or my mouse. Now I am getting sucked into the graph orb. And as you can see, I can still move around a bit, but it slows me down because it wants me, it pulls me back into the center. And that's it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you got any feedback or suggestions, down below in the comment section or in the description box, you will find a link to our Discord channel. Hope to see you over there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.